Hey guys, welcome back to the J2O channel, and this is your match preview of Tottenham versus Chelsea in the second leg of the Carabao Cup tomorrow night, 7:45 kickoff time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. As we know, it's the second leg. Obviously, Chelsea in the first leg surprisingly beat Tottenham 2-0, and the reason why I say surprisingly is because obviously we all saw that we played a new formation for the first time. We played with four at the back, played an astronomical 4-2-2-2-2, where it was a 4-2-2-2. It was a 4-4-2. It was a 4-3-3. It was a 4-2-3-1. That's why it's called astronomical, because clearly we could fluid in between different four at the back formations. So yeah, that was really interesting. And then obviously against Chesterfield we played with three at the back, but very weird three at the back. Lewis Hall was a centre back. We had Pulisic and Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi interchanging as wing backs, and then we had Vernon, Lukaku up top, and then it was very astronomical 3-4-3 that turned into a 3-4-1-2 that turned into a 3-4-2-1, all of that stuff as well. So tomorrow is going to be interesting in terms of what formation Thomas Tuchel decides to play. Now, do I think he'll take this seriously in terms of the lineup he puts out? Yes, I don't think he'll mess about, to be honest with you. I think he'll try to play the strongest team. My question is, will he play a 4-2-2-2? Or will he play a 3-4-3? I don't know. So you'll see later in the match, in the predicted lineup, what I do think of that. Obviously, Tottenham Hotspur recently in the FA Cup, they beat Morecambe 3-1. But to be honest, they struggled for so long to break them down, to the point where even Morecambe went 1-0 up, surprisingly. And near enough, I actually live near Morecambe. I'm actually like 10 minutes away from there. So, it was nice to see them actually, put in a shift against Tottenham. I would have wished they would have done something, but it was never going to last long, were they? So, yeah, for the fact that he took the likes of Lucas Moura and Kane to come on and, actually have an impact and score goals to make sure Tottenham win the game. I mean, it's sort of embarrassing considering Conte was hoping they would have rested those two players, because obviously Son is out, but so many of the players dropped stinkers from Dele Alli, and Ndombele got booed off the pitch when he got substituted. I mean, yeah, it's clear that right now Tottenham's level isn't quite high, and Conte has acknowledged that. And to be honest, if things don't go well for them towards the rest of the season, I don't know if he'll stay beyond the summer. I think this all depends on what happens in this January window. I think if he doesn't get back in this January window, I don't know how we get back in the summer. So let's see what happens in terms of Tottenham. We all know they've got players missing. Dyer's obviously missing currently. What it looks like under Conte has been their best centre back. Obviously Steve Bergwijn is missing as well. He doesn't play much, but for quality and depth, that's pretty important. And they've lost possibly their best player this season, maybe in Heung-min Son. So yeah, those are huge blows for them. And obviously in tomorrow's game, they're gonna be up for it regardless of players missing, stuff like that. They'll still believe there's a chance to at least score two goals, which they're with the quality in the attack, they're more than capable of. It's just, will the rest of the team turn out to, actually turn up and show their qualities in which they don't on a consistent basis? Because Conte has the ability to get that out of bare average players. Because at the end of the day, in Tottenham's best team, there's a lot of average players like Davinson Sanchez, Højbjerg, who's not really looked good this season in general, Ben Davis, Emerson Royale. Do you know what I mean? So let's see how Tottenham do play tomorrow. I think they will play a 3-4-3 as expected, but I'm just wondering tomorrow what will Tuchel do. And obviously he done a press conference today. I didn't watch it, so do go check it out. It's on Chelsea's YouTube channel. The only thing I'm going to really talk about is the fact that Thiago Silva and Kante obviously have tested negative for the disease. It doesn't look like they'll play tomorrow. They'll do some more last-minute tests. They're going to do a cardiac test and more tests. I think they would have already done it today by the time I'm recording this video. Apparently nobody's tested negative for COVID, so hopefully, tomorrow, hopefully nobody again tests negative as well. Because nowadays, I don't know how quickly they're doing these tests, but the rate it's going, it's kind of mad, isn't it? Because you can just get it at any time. But if anyone tested negative now, I'm pretty sure everyone will be fine for tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, you've seen recently with these false positives that Liverpool have had bare false positives, which is, I think, kind of suspect in my opinion. I know we had one recently in Jorginho, but that was only one. You can have one, but mate, the chances of having it is like mad. It's like mad low. So the fact that Liverpool had like 3-4, I think it was, is a bit suspect, and people are asking for them to be investigated. So we'll see what happens in terms of that. But yeah, anyways, we go on now to the predicted lineup, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really picked what formation we're gonna use. So I'm just gonna tell you two predicted lineups, and why this could potentially be why Tuchel uses it. So yeah, let's go. First of all, the 4-2-2, 4-2-2-2, Kepa in goal, left back Alonso, right back Aspilicueta. If he's not fit, it'll be Pulisic most likely. The two centre backs of Rudiger and Christensen. We've got a double pivot. First of all, the first pivot of Kovacic and Jorginho, and then obviously the second one, Ziyech and Mount, and then up top Lukaku and Havertz. That 4-2-2 could go into a 4-2-3-1 with Havertz as the 10, Mount and Ziyech on the wings. It could be a 4-3-3 with Havertz, Ziyech, Lukaku as a 3, Mount, Kovacic and Jorginho. You don't know. You know it could be a 4-2-2, a 4-4-2, a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3. We all know this already. The reason why I would say you might go with this is, one, it worked the first time against Tottenham. It worked the first time against Conte. The fact that, anything that they did, we can tactically change it. So it can go from a 4-2-2 if Tottenham change their shape to a 4-2-3-1 to, overload the midfield even more. Even though the 4-2-2 already does that with Ziyech, Mount, and then you got Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic. It could be a 4-3-3. You don't know. The reason why I went with as strong as a team as it was is because I don't see how Tuchel is going to play the likes of Asar in this game, considering now we've got Rudiger and Christensen back. Kovacic had 45 minutes against Morecambe. I think he was building him up for this game in particular, not the City game, and still, which I think he will play. But, I feel like Tuchel's going to want to go out there and sort of just going to want to get the job done and then make subs here and there tomorrow. I think he's going to want to continue with the Lukaku-Havertz partnership. I think it was okay against Tottenham, and I feel like maybe he's going to want that to work a little bit more. Maybe it could be Timo Werner instead of Lukaku. At the end of the day, these are two technically our strikers, technically, at the club. So maybe he's just going to want that relationship to work, seeing as we paid it's 150 million combined, but it's 172 million combined when it's Kai Havertz as well. So who knows? He might want Ziyech to continue in his good form, because it's clear to see that Ziyech in this formation, in this system, clearly when he plays, when there's four at the back, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, it's clearly that's when he shines at his best. He can drop in between an 8, a 10, he can go on the right, pretty much a free roam down that right-hand side. And again, this is where we can maybe fit both formations into it, the 3-4-3 and the 4-2-2. So yeah, and obviously if Aspilicueta isn't fit, then I think he'll play Pulisic there, just because with Pulisic, he seems to be the only one that's played there out of like him, Hudson-Odoi, and the rest of them. At like proper right back. In the last few minutes against Tottenham, when Aspi went off with cramp, Pulisic played at right back, which he got spun a couple times, but it is what it is. He just he did talk about in the press conference about his versatility, and he may as well have minutes, but it's not promised pretty much that he's gonna have minutes in his preferred position, which is obviously the left wing. So yeah, for that reason, look, I think he could play there. And yeah, that would be the team that I think he would go with against Spurs, because it did work the first time. We can, be flexible with the formation, and it can confuse Spurs a bit. But who knows? Maybe Conte may have learned his lesson from that game, and maybe saw something tactically that he might have to change for this game. Who knows? Anyway, the second lineup, 3-4-3. Now, I think he will go with Kepa in goal, obviously. Sarr, Rudiger, Christensen, right wing back Aspilicueta or Christian Pulisic if Aspi's not fit, and then Alonso as the left wing back, a double pivot of Kovacic and Jorginho, and then a front three of Mason Mount, Lukaku, and Kai Havertz. Now, first of all, the front three, you're probably thinking as a 3 at the beginning of the season, Kai, Mason, Lukaku. It actually worked for a bit. It was actually pretty decent. I think Tuchel's going to want to see more of that. We all know Ziyech isn't really as good in this system. Pulisic isn't promised to have minutes in that position. There's clearly players ahead of him in that front three. And I think the same would go for Hudson-Odoi. So I think if we was to play that, I think those two would be the most likely. I think the only other person that could maybe come into that front three would probably be Timo Werner, most likely. But I think Mason Mount got the rest, so I think he will play regardless in this game, whether it's that formation or this formation. I think Lukaku will play regardless. I think the wing-backs will play regardless. And the reason why I went with that back three is because I don't think there's any other back three you could go with. You're not going to go with an academy player. the fact that he now technically has enough players to play his preferred formation 3-4-3. Why not? He played well in the last game against Spurs in the 3-4-3. But on the left-hand side, put Christensen on the right-hand side, and put Rudiger in the middle, because you saw in the game against Tottenham, we played a 4-2-2, but then off the ball we played with three at the back. And he was in the middle, and he was the aggressor, and he was clearly the one leading the back line, as you saw in that game. And he's the one who's best on the ball. Normally your middle centre back is the one who's the best on the ball, and normally when it's Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Aspie, normally it's Thiago Silva is just the best on the ball. Now I know Christensen plays there, in the middle of centre back, but that's probably his best position, due better than the left and the right, and Rudiger's best on the left rather in the middle. But in this situation, I think it's best if we put Rudiger in the middle and Christensen on the right, just because I do think Rudiger's better on the ball than Christensen. He can spray passes with his left foot, with his right foot, to the left, to the right of the field, regardless. And I think that would be really key for us tomorrow. When you actually deep that lineup I just put out there, that would have been the same lineup that played against Tottenham in the league game away from home. If you remember, the only player that didn't play in that lineup I've just said out there was Malang Sarr. It was Thiago Silva. We had Kepa in goal. Obviously, Mendy was out and stuff like that. The wing backs were Aspie and Alonso, if you remember. And, tactically it didn't work. We had to bring on Kante and we won the game like that. So tomorrow it's going to be interesting to see what Tuchel plays, which formation he plays. Whether my reasons for the for 3-4-3 were good enough, or 4-2-2 were good enough. You tell me down below. I just want to hear your thoughts and stuff like that. And yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this video, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, do you think he'll play a 4-2-2, an astronomical 4-2-2, or do you think he'll play a 3-4-3 in tomorrow's game? How seriously do you think he'll play this lineup? Do you think he'll be Cover or Saul in midfield? I think Jorginho will play. Do you think Saul will get his opportunity again, whether it's at 4 at the back or 3 at the back? Do you think Pulisic will play at wing back instead of Aspilicueta, or right back? Who knows what Tuchel's going to do tomorrow? What will be the front three? We do not have a clue at this point. That's why I put out 2 lineups and 2 different reasons. So yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for my play ratings and my match review. So yeah, see you then. Peace.